हेलो एवरीवन। सो आज हम लोग भागवतम की चर्चा करेंगे। एंड ये ट्विटर में भी है एंड यूट्यूब में भी है। यूट्यूब की लिंक मैं दे देता हूँ। ये स्ट्रीम यार्ड की लिंक है। एक सेकेंड। ओके, मैंने ऊपर डाल दिया है टाइमलाइन पे। सो पहले हम लोग बात करते हैं कि भागवतम भागवतम की स्टडीज क्यों जरूरत पड़ी। वाई, हु इज लॉर्ड श्री कृष्णा, and why do we need we need to understand Krishna consciousness, ब्रह्म भूति क्या है। वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट डेफिनेटली। ये बहुत एक्सटेंसिव स्टडी है। सो आई हैव डिवाइडेड इट इनटू sequels 01, 02, maybe I will go to 04 sessions and I will try to keep it short. So this is my first of the series and we can definitely be interactive. तो भागवतम की जो पहली श्लोक है, इट टॉक्स अबाउट हु इज कृष्णा। दैट इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन। क्या ये जो कृष्णा हम देख रहे हैं, ये क्या जो माखन चोर है उसकी बात कर रहे हैं, या आर वी टॉकिंग अबाउट द कृष्णा ऑफ द कुरुक्षेत्र? आर वी टॉकिंग अबाउट द कृष्णा हु प्लेड लीला ऑन दिस planet? Is he the Krishna talking about? What is the nature? Why we need to talk about Krishna consciousness? So this is all elaborated in Bhagavatam 1.1, and it says, let me recite it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvaya ditaraschaर्थे स्वभिज्ञस्वराट तेन ब्रह्मा हृदयादिक्वया मुख्यन्ते यत्सूर्यः तेजो वारी मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिस्वर्गमृषा धाम्रो स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परमं धीमहि. So it says that I offer my obeisance up to Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva. So it is very clear who is Vasudeva. Namaskar, Surendraji. Namaskar. Who is the son of Vasudeva? Who is this supreme of all pervading personality of Godhead? I meditate upon him, the transcendental reality, who is the who is the primeval cause of all causes, from whom all manifested universes arises, in whom they dwell and by whom they are destroyed. I meditate upon that eternally affluent Lord who is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestation and yet is beyond them. So this is the nature of Lord Sri Krishna. If anyone can compare this nature of this transcendental reality who is supreme, then that is the Lord Sri Krishna we are talking about. Now next go to slok 2. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasu धर्म प्रोजेक्ट कैतव्यो त्रपरमो निर्मस्त्वर परिणाम सताम वैद्यम. एक सेकंड. धर्मो प्रोजेक्ट कैतवोत्र अत्र परमो निर्मस्तरणाम सताम वैदम वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनि कृते किं वा परि ईश्वरः सद्य हृदय वरुध्यत्रे कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात्. So it clearly says completely rejecting all religious activity which are materially motivated. This Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth which is understandable by those devotees who are pure in heart. So it clearly says that we need to. This is the highest truth we are talking. हम लोग कोई we are not talking about uh, some past times. We are just this is the highest truth, and based upon receiving it, we will reach the highest truth. We will understand जो गॉड की व्हाट इज द जो गॉड की नेचर है what is the nature of God. So God will talk about what is the nature of God. I mean, he resides in our hearts. It is there in Bhagavad Gita. He resides in the smallest of the atom. He is present in this universe. He is residing in Gokul Dham. He is residing in front of Arjuna as Lord Sri Krishna. So that is the nature of God we are talking about. And here the God which is talking about is the Gokul Dham. He resides in Gokul Dham. And that is the eternal Sagun nature of Lord Sri Krishna. And that is what Bhagavatam is talking about. निगम निगम कल्प निगम कल्प तरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुख शुकमुख शुकमुखादमृत द्रव द्रवं संयूतं पिबद्भागवतं रसमलायम् मुहुरहो रसिका मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भुवि भाविकाः. She talks about Bhagavatam is like a nectar. It is not. It is like oh thoughtful man. Sri Bhagavad is the nectar of all Vedic trees. It emanated from the from the lips of Shukdev Goswami. Therefore, so. We are talking about Bhagavatam. So when Bhagavatam was recited by Narad Muni to Ved Vyas, Ved Vyas had earlier, compiled the four Vedas, the Upanishads, the Mahabharata, Itihas, the Bhagavad Gita, but he was not satisfied, and that is where Narad Muni repyramided him that you need to compile something which which people can understand in this Kali Yuga, and that's why the first shloka itself it says in the when you open the Bhagavatam, the first shloka it says that why you why it is needed. When you open the Bhagavatam, the first shloka, it is not even the shloka; it is in the preface. कृष्णे स्वधामोपगते धर्म ज्ञानादिभि सह कलौ नष्टे द्वामेश पुराणर्को अधुनित पुराणर्को अधुनोदितः. It said Krishna Swadhamopagate means Krishna Bhagwan when Lord Sri Krishna left this body and went to the Golok Dham. Uh, then what will happen to the this dharma gyan? I mean, this will because there is no one to tell us what will happen to that. And ये जो धर्म ज्ञान है ये तो नष्ट हो जाएगा कलयुग में. जी सुरेंद्र जी माइक ले लीजिए. या ये धर्म ज्ञान तो नष्ट हो जाएगा कलयुग में. So now this is where Bhagavatam comes to rescue him, and that is why Sukdev Sukdev compiled it, passed it to Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj ने Prabhupada को दिया. He passed it to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada passed it to us actually in the form of this book. That's what we are reciting Bhagavatam. Now there are many. I will keep it short. Yeah. तो इन कलयुग हम लोग क्यों बोलते हैं कि धर्म की जो द फोर लेग्स ऑफ भागवतम, द फोर लेग्स ऑफ धर्मा, which what are the four pillars of dharma? सत्यम, शौचम, दया, तपम. इसमें तीन पिलर्स तो ऑलरेडी, तीन लेग्स तो ऑलरेडी टूट गई है, and we are only standing on satyam. And with the advent of kali yuga, people are practicing illicit connections, relationships, intoxications, animal killing. So धर्म का ज्ञान तो यहाँ पर डेवलप हो नहीं सकता. We cannot have any more shruti knowledge. So we need some kind of format by which we can still connect to, and still connect to the consciousness, and that is where Bhagavatam is coming into a picture. So here it is said that those who get this Bhagavatam, they need to spread it like missionary, like whatever. Like for example, I got the knowledge by reading Prabhupada's book, so I'm trying to spread it as a missionary in in this Twitter and whatever. Like if few people uh, are interested, intrigued by this Bhagavatam, then my work is done. Narad Muni भी यही किया जब ब्रह्मा फर्स्ट टाइम जब when Sri Krishna told it to Brahma ji told it to Narad Muni. Narad Muni जब को ज्ञान मिला, then he did not keep quiet. He started moving all across the cosmos, and that is why always he will say Om Bhagavate Nama. Always he will spread the message of the supreme consciousness. He will not do any pastime, other thing. He just Om Vasudevaya Nama, and that is where we are able to protect this. So maybe वही कर रहा हूँ. I am also doing the same thing which Narad Muni did, which Prabhupada did, in our own little capacity. Agar if we can even create interest in one person, I mean, we have cleared up all our sins. So we will see. So this is the reference. It says यथा हरौ भगवती नृणां भक्तिर्भविष्यति सर्वात्मन्यखिलादरे इति संकल्प्य वर्णया. यथा हरौ भगवती नृणां भक्तिर्भविष्यति सर्वात्मन्यखिलाधरे इति संकल्प्य वर्णया. So what it says, that we need to spread the science of Godhead. This is the science of Godhead. We need to spread it with determination, just like Narad Muni did it to spread it across, just like Sukhdev did it, just like Prabhupada did it. So similarly, we need to also spread it. Yeah, I will take a pause. Connect the book reader. So anything you आप लोग कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
बढ़िया है, आप करते जाइए, हम तो श्रोता हैं.
नो प्रॉब्लम. सुरेंद्र जी कैसे हैं? नमस्कार. माइक ले लीजिए. थोड़ा बीच बीच में वी कैन आस्क क्वेश्चंस आल्सो, सो दैट वे आई कैन एक्सप्लेन. If we can make it interactive, we can explain it as well. But no problem, I can continue. So next slok it says, मायायां वर्णयतो मुष्य ईश्वर अस्यानुमोदितः मोदतः. मायायां वर्णयतो मुष्य ईश्वरस्य अनुमोदतः शृण्वत श्रद्धाया नित्यम मायात्मानमुयति. देखिए यहाँ पर शब्दों का यूज किया गया है. शृण्वत श्रद्धाया नित्यम, that we need to listen with shraddha and niyat, like every day. Make it an everyday practice. That's what I am doing. That's what we are doing. Spend at least, we in a week at least get 1 hour. Spread this message with Shrunvata Shraddhaya Niyatam. Small, so what is the translation? इसका translation क्या है? Activities of the Lord in associate with his different energies should be described, appreciated, and heard in accordance with the teachings of the Supreme Lord. If this is done regularly with devotion and respect, one is surely to get out of this illusionary energy of the Lord. So what is this illusionary Kanakji, can you please explain what is this illusionary energy of the Lord that it is talking about? Any guesswork?
ये तो माया है.
Very good, very good.
तो
Yes. Yes, थोड़ा बताइए हमारे
कि
श्रोता everyone because tell us what is this Maya energy that can you please explain,
जी,
Kanak ji?
so there are different types of energies. I mean, mainly divided into internal energy, external energy, and there is a marginable energy which lies between the two, right? तो एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी जो प्रभु की है उसको माया कहते हैं. जो इंटरनल है वो ह्लादिनी शक्ति है, वो पराशक्ति है. ये माया जो है ये मटेरियल वर्ल्ड इज फॉर्म्ड आउट ऑफ दिस एनर्जी. और हम लोग जो है, हम लोग जीव जो होते हैं वो तटस्था शक्ति होती है, बीच की शक्ति होती है. जैसे हमारा नेल होता है ना, हमारा बॉडी जो है, हमारा हेयर जो है वो एक्सटर्नल है. हेयर में कुछ वो नहीं है, जीवित नहीं है वो, है ना. हमारा बॉडी, लेकिन हमारे बॉडी को आप हर्ट करेंगे तो हमको पेन होता है, लेकिन हेयर को आप कट करेंगे तो आपको पेन नहीं होता है. तो external energy is like outside which is outwardly focused, और वो है हमारी माया शक्ति. जो अंतरंगा शक्ति है वो अलग शक्ति है, ह्लादिनी शक्ति बोलते हैं. और एक तटस्था शक्ति है जिसमें हम सब लोग जीवों को माना जाता है, जो कि इट इज लाइक नेल का जो पार्ट होता है. नेल ऊपर से कट करते हैं तो आपको हर्ट नहीं होता, लेकिन ज्यादा डीप करेंगे तो आपको हर्ट होने लगता है. तो नेल फॉर्म्स ऑफ, इट इज लाइक अ समुद्र की वेव जहां पे मीट करती है ना शोर को. दैट इज द तट कहते हैं उसे, तट, समुद्र तट, राइट. तटस्था शक्ति उसके बीच में होती है. तो बट आपने सवाल पूछा था
जी जी.
एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी विच इज माया, जिससे ये सारा संसार बना है.
Yes, book reader जी, आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहेंगे? We will proceed to the birth of Krishna. Why, क्यों अजन्मा होने के बाद भी भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने जन्म लिए? We will talk about the reason behind it. Please, book reader जी बोलिए.
सर मेरा तो बस एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है. मतलब ये जो माया शक्ति है तो इसको बनाने की जरूरत क्या पड़ी भगवान को? ये उनका इटर्नल क्वालिटी है, गुण है, या मतलब उन्होंने इसका निर्माण किया है?
जी कनक जी,
निर्माण अजन्मा है. ये भी मतलब अज और अजा तीनों जो है अजन्मे है, सदा से है. कब से है? अनादि है और अनंत है. तो ये इसका कोई आदि नहीं है इन तीनों का, ब्रह्म का और उसकी शक्तियों का. ये तीनों शक्तियां अनादि हैं और अनंत हैं.
जी जो पराशक्ति है, जो हमारे यहाँ परा और अपरा है, तो जो ब्रह्म ज्ञान है, ब्रह्मभूति ज्ञान है, उसको रीच करने के लिए, टू रीच दैट वी नीड टू, अष्टांग योग की बात की गई है. यम, नियम, देन आसन, प्राणायाम, प्रत्याहार. वी विल टॉक अबाउट दिस. प्रत्याहार, yes. We will talk about these stages, like these are the 8 stages. So the only reason we are, जो जिस प्रभु की हम बात कर रहे हैं वो सत्य, चित्त और आनंद है. इट इज लाइक, वो सत्य भी है, लाइक इट इज ऑलवेज देयर, इटर्नल. इट इज चित्त भी है, लाइक लिसनिंग टू इट और realizing it, you will get infinite blissfulness. You will get Satchit Anand, and it is Anand. It is not only blissful, it is Anand. That is why it called Satchit Anand. So ये हम लोग क्यों रियलाइज नहीं कर पाते? क्योंकि हम लोग माया शक्ति में बंधे हुए हैं. दिस इज द नेचर, ये रियलिटी, ये दिस इज द नेचर हाउ संसार जो क्रिएट किया गया है, दिस इज हाउ इट इज क्रिएटेड. दैट हम लोग अपनी जो रियल स्वरूप है वो अनुभूति नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग माया में फंसे हुए हैं. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, वी आर मेड अप ऑल मटेरियल एनर्जी. हम लोग सब 5 सेंसेशंस, वी आर स्टक बाय दिस 5 सेंसेशन. हम लोग इस मटेरियल एनर्जी में बंधे हुए हैं. टू ट्रांसेंड दिस मटेरियल एनर्जी, we need to overcome this Maya, and that is why this is called Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is the science of Godhead, uh, the science of Godhead. So this is what Sanatan. This is what we are talking about in Bhagavatam. क्योंकि कलयुग में श्रुति तो अब नहीं हो सकती है. Now, if you say कि can we get the same shrutis that our rishis got directly onto their ears, right? Directly उनको vibration. तो अभी कलयुग में because all the four pillars of dharma has, three pillars at least has been lost. We spoke, right? धर्म की जो चार पिलर्स हैं, which is सत्य, तप, सत्य, दया, स्वच्छ. So out of the three pillars has already been lost. So now only it is deciding that bull is standing on one leg. तो अभी एंड व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी हैव पोल्यूटेड दिस थ्रू इन कलयुग. तो अभी तो कलयुग में तो धर्म की नाश हो चुकी है, तो हम लोग श्रुति तो नहीं कर सकते. इसलिए भागवतम, through Bhagavatam we can at least understand this Krishna consciousness and recite, recite the Hare Krishna Hare mantra, which is like, let me play it out, 1 second. Let's play it out. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna. So this is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And we need to continuously spread this message. This Krishna name we need to continuously recite. Shrunvanti, we need to continuously do Shrunvanti with Shraddha and Nityam. Hare Rama. The more people we spread, the more virtues we get. Just like Narad Muni did it, just like Brahmaji did it, just like Prabhupada did it. Okay, I will stop it. Let's continue with our session. And as I said earlier, this is recorded. We can find the YouTube. I will post the YouTube link also after this. So let's talk about the birth of, before talking about the birth, why did he took birth? So he took birth for the bhaktas actually, because bhakts are very very dear to him. I mean, we'll see repeated slokas in Bhagavad Gita also, how bhakta and God are same. But before we talk about, let's talk about two lines, because we are talking about Bhagavatam, that who is Parikshit Maharaj and who is Sukdev Maharaj, Sukdev, what is the role of Sukdev? So so without mentioning Parikshit Maharaj was born in the womb of Uttara, and जब महाभारत खत्म हो गया था, तब अश्वत्थामा ने ब्रह्मास्त्र, he released this ब्रह्मास्त्र targeting the womb of Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj, as a act of revenge, क्योंकि बहुत embarrassment हुआ था महाभारत लड़ाई में. So he took it as an act of revenge, and that is where, because Pandavas are very dear to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So looking at this, Lord Sri Krishna stepped in, and he released he stepped in and he released his Sudarshan Chakra to counter this. I mean, he could have waited, right? He could have waited because the Pandavas also took their Shastra to counter that. So he could have just waited, okay, let Pandavas have anyway released. No, but since he also took the Sudarshan Chakra, because, why? Because Parikshit Maharaj was very dear to him, a great devotee. So he always comes and protects the great devotees. So what does it say in Bhagavad Gita 1:8-12? And so as I'm doing it in YouTube, you can see the reference what I'm reading. तरोवाथ मुनिश्रेष्ठ पांडवा पंचसायकान् आत्मनो भूमि आत्मनो भूमिर्वान् आत्मनो आत्मनो भूमि खान् आत्मनो भूमि खान्ति प्राप्ता लक्ष्य लक्ष्य खान्ययुपाददु तरोवात मुनि श्रेष्ठ पांडवा पंचसायकान आत्मनो भूमि खान्ति प्राप्तान लक्ष्या खान्योपाददुः. It is a long word, so I took. O foremost amongst the great thinker, seeing the great Brahmastra proceeding towards them, the Pandavas took up their 5 weapons. So as I was saying, जैसे मैं बोल रहा था कि Pandavas took up their position because जैसे कि if let's say we know how nuclear weapons are fired, right? Like if suppose that intercontinental, in those days, this is the similar version of intercontinental missiles, right? So if let's say China fires or any of our enemy countries fires a nuclear missile, are we going to keep quiet? So we are going to use our, you know, uh, our counter missiles, right? We have so many. We have this. Uh, we have so many we have acquired, right? From Russia, from Israel, we have acquired it, so we will fire it. But see, that is what the Pandavas also did it, right? They also fired the counterpart of it to intercept those missiles. So, but Lord Sri Krishna, did he keep quiet? Nahi. So he did not rest here because अगर वो चूक जाते, if these interceptors is not, you know that sometimes the interceptors are not accurate, right? So if that, then so Lord Sri Krishna did not wait for it. So he lifted his Sudarshan Chakra. And remember, Lord Sri Krishna had taken this prana, this promise that he will not lift his, you know, he will never participate in the war. But this is where, see, morality is for lower realms. It is not for supreme Godhead. This is where he stepped in. That for Bhaks, twice he had done that. He overrided overrided this promise, and in the act of Sanatan Dharma, to protect this Sanatan Dharma, he he interjected and lifted his Sudarshan Chakra to protect it. So, in the act of Sanatan Dharma, we have two kinds of Dharma, Sanatan and Swadharma, right? But in the greater goodness of Sanatan Dharma, we need to, we need to leave these, if act needed, we need to leave our Swadharma for the goodness of the Sanatan. So this is where, yeah, 1 second, Surendraji. So this is where Bhagwan Sri Krishna in the next text, 1:18-13 says, व्यसनम विक्षय तते सामन अन्य विषय आत्मनाम सुदर्शनेन सुदर्शेन स्वस्त्रेण सुदेशेन स्वस्त्रेण स्वानां रक्षाणां व्यधाद्विभू व्यसनं वीक्षय तते सामन् अन्य विषय आत्मनां Sudarsanena Swakshe Swastrena Swanam Raksham Vyadhadvibhu. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, having observed that a great danger was falling, he his unalloyed devotees were fully surrounded souls. At once took up his Sudarshan Chakra in order to protect them. So this is where Lord Sri Krishna interjected. Damirji, namaskar. Please come to mic. So this is where Lord Sri Krishna, step aside, step above his swadharma, his kul, whatever kul. See, if we see the dharma, all these people, Pandavas, what was the fault of Kauravas? They had great mighty Bhishma Pitama, they had great mighty Dronacharya, but they were all stuck in their uh, uh, own dharmas, right? They wanted to practice. Bhishma Pitama did not want to leave the side of the kul, so he could not join. So Dronacharya, he was also bound by his own limitations. But ultimately, all got perished. What was their fault? Because they did not understand the true nature of Sanatan, the highest virtue of Sanatan for which they need to fight. And that is the establishment of Dharma. You need to step aside, step down your own small moralities and work for the greater goodness. That's what Dharma is about, righteousness. So this is where you see, like as I was saying, through this sloka, how he protected Parikshit Maharaj, and he protected so many other bhaktas. We will see actually. We will see how he protected so many other bhaktas who are dear to him. So he will always continue to do it. Jamir ji, yes, Surendra ji, you raise your hand, please. Yeah.
थैंक यू केतु सर। इसमें जो जैसे कि महाभारत में देखी है कि भगवान शस्त्र नहीं उठाते, पर एक समय ऐसा आता है कि हमारे कृष्ण भगवान जो कि फिर अर्जुन और कर्ण की जब लड़ाई होती है, तो एक समय ऐसा आता है कि जो कि कृष्ण भगवान हथियार उठाते हैं, जो कि अर्जुन उनको जो कि पैर पकड़ के पीछे खींचते हैं, तब उसके बाद अर्जुन लड़ने को फिर तैयार होते हैं। ऐसा प्रसंग है ना उसमें कोई?
कम अगेन सुरेंद्र जी, क्या क्वेश्चन है?
ये हम कह रहे हैं कि कर्ण और अर्जुन की जब लड़ाई होती है, तब उसमें एक बार जो कि भगवान कृष्ण जो है कि हथियार उठाने के लिए जो कि आगे बढ़ते हैं, जो कि अर्जुन उनको रोक देते हैं।
जी जी
नहीं, अभी मैं कुछ ऐड करना चाह रहा हूँ सुरेंद्र जी। अभी ये जो कॉन्टेस्ट चल रहा है ना, यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि महाभारत का युद्ध जब हो जाता है, तो उसके बाद जो अश्वत्थामा होता है, वो जो परीक्षित महाराज की जो माता जी हैं उत्तरा, तो उनके गर्भ में उस टाइम पर परीक्षित महाराज होते हैं। तो वहां पर अश्वत्थामा, जब श्री कृष्ण द्वारिका की तरफ लौटना चाह रहे होते हैं, तो उस टाइम पर अश्वत्थामा उन पर अटैक करता है। तो वहां पर की बात चल रही है अभी। तो वहां पर श्री कृष्ण अपने सुदर्शन से उसका जो ब्रह्मास्त्र होता है उसको न्यूट्रलाइज करते हैं। थैंक यू।
यानी इसमें ये प्रसंग है ना कि जब ये लड़ाई जब खत्म हो जाती है, तो अश्वत्थामा बदला लेने के लिए जो कि पांडवों के जो कि फिर समझिए, फिर उनके जो कि परिवार को जो कि फिर रात में उनके खेमे में घुस के मारते हैं, तब उसका पीछा करते हुए अश्वत्थामा के पास पहुंचते हैं। तो कृष्ण की माया से उनके बच्चों को फिर जिंदा करते हैं, और उसी समय उसके माथे में जो कि मणि रहती है, उसको भगवान कृष्ण जो कि नोच लेते हैं। और ऐसा माना जाता है कि अश्वत्थामा अभी भी उस मणि को खोजता हुआ जो कि जिंदा है, क्योंकि अश्वत्थामा को वरदान मिला था कि वो कभी मरेगा नहीं।
जी जी सुरेंद्र जी, दैट्स द ओनली कॉन्टेक्स्ट वी आर टॉकिंग। हम लोग ये बात कर रहे हैं कि फॉर द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ धर्मा, लॉर्ड श्री कृष्णा टुक द साइड, आई मीन ही आल्सो लेफ्ट हिज मोरालिटी। जब मोरालिटी की भी जरूरत पड़ती है, वी नीड टू स्टेप असाइड फॉर द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट. So that's what Karan could not fight for the greater, he was stuck in his own glories, and that is where Bhagwan Shri Krishna, the Pandavas won actually, because they were on the side of the truthfulness. So let's come back to the topic. Because this is not, we are not talking about. Ji, namaskar Jamir ji.
जय श्री कृष्ण।
Jai Shri Krishna. So we are talking about appearance of Lord Shri Krishna. So why did भगवान बार बार सवाल पूछते हैं कि अगर वो भगवान है तो उनको जन्म लेने की क्यों जरूरत पड़ी? And this is where it says cage. So पहली बात like it says in श्लोक 1832 Bhagavatam 1832. So there are many reasons. First reason is because Yadus were great. They always they were great bhaktas of. They were used to glorify Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So he appeared in the family of Yadu family to glorify them. Just like Malaya Hills in Malaya Hills in Malaysia. Those times, see Malaysia का भी इधर नाम आता है. So this is why it is called Sanatan. I mean, it's not written in some, it had understanding of the geography. तो मलय हिल्स में बात करते अभी की जाती है. मलय हिल्स में जिस तरह के चंदन उठता है तो वहां की खुशबू छा जाती है और मलय हिल्स कीर्ति मिल जाती है. मलय हिल्स को कीर्ति मिलती है. उसी तरह यदुवंश को भी जब भगवान श्री कृष्ण जन्मे तो यदुवंश की भी कीर्ति आ गई. केचिदाहुर जंजातम पुण्य श्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदोह प्रियस्य अन्वाये मलयस्य वे चंदनम. केचिदाहुर जंजातम पुण्य श्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदोह प्रियस्य अन्वाये मलयस्य वे चंदनम. Some say the unborn. See, यहाँ पर भगवान श्री कृष्ण केचिदा हुरा जंजातम. See, some say that the unborn is born. It clearly says that Bhagwan Lord Shri Krishna is unborn. He is born for the glorification of pious king. Others say that he is born to please Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in the family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya Hills. So that's the logic. And then what is the second reason people say why he got born? Mm, because he came because Devaki and Vasudeva prayed for their protection in life because they were harassed by Kans Maharaj. We know the story. That is a separate story. So this is where he came to kill those who were envious of Lord Sri Krishna, those and those who try to harm the innocents. So for them, Bhagwan Sri Krishna got born with Devaki and Vasudeva. अपरे वासुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यागात् अजस्त्वमस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्वीषाम्. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you have taken your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigod. So this is the second reason he got born. And then we in Bhagavad Gita we have numerous references. We all know परित्रणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. We all know that to protect the righteousness he always gets born. And then there is a third reason why, because Brahma himself prayed, because there was a lot of unrighteousness, अधर्म बढ़ गया था, disorderliness बढ़ गया था संसार पे. भरावतारण्यान्ये भुवो नावो इवो दधौ सीदान्त्या भूरि भारेन् जातौ आत्मभुवार्थितः. Others say that the world is so overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you appear to diminish this trouble. तो जब संसार में कुछ प्रॉब्लम ट्रबल आती है, because Brahma is the creator, he gets petrified. So in order to protect it, Brahma, so he took the born, and Brahma himself was praying. So that's why he came to this earth, to protect it. Next, what it says in the slok, भवेस्मिन किंच माननाम अविद्या काम कर्म भी श्रवण स्मरण अर्हाणि करिष्यश्रीति केचन. भवेस्मिन किंच माननाम अविद्या काम कर्म भी श्रवण स्मरण अर्हाणि करिष्य श्रीति केचन. So what it says, and yet others say that you appear to rejuvenate the devotional services of hearing, remembering, and worshipping. So it clearly see there are three words which it says that that we need to be doing. So others say as per Kunti that you appeared for devotees. So why did Lord Sri Krishna appeared? Because it gave the devotees a chance for doing Shravan, Smaran, and Arhani. These are the three things a devotee is doing, and that is why he came. Shravan means what? To listen. Smaran means to remember. And Arhani, what is Arhani? What is Arhani means to do worship. So that they can do worship. So this is where he came. So not only he came for the Yaduj, because they were pious worshippers. Not only he came for Devaki and Vasudeva, who were great devotees. Not only he came to kill, Kans Maharaj. He also came for the devotees who are pious devotees. Yes, Rauji. So we are also recording it, just a matter, so that it can be catalogued. Yeah, Rauji.
नमस्ते, नमस्कार केतु जी, आपके लिए एक केतु का मैं थोड़ा एक्सप्लेनेशन, थोड़ा अगर मुझे 30 सेकेंड्स दिया तो मैं थोड़ा आपको मैं बता दूंगा.
Yes, but we are talking on Bhagavatam, so please, be limited. Yeah.
I'll make it quick. See, just wanted to, because I know there are a lot of questions coming on Ketu, but one of the significance that I read, which is actually very beautiful, very, very well narrated, and very well described based on our ancient scripts. Ketu is the highest level of mathematics that human mind cannot comprehend. He is the king of quantum physics and entanglement. Uncertainty is caused by Ketu. Saturn gives fruits of your karma. It is quantifiable. It has a mind. However, Ketu has a power to change course of your karma based on time, place, and situation, which cannot be quantified. It doesn't have a mind. Physically, there are innumerable inflammation takes place in your body, in our body, that impedes prana to enter in our body, which in turn impede humans to realize the truth. Ketu is that ultimate freedom from all forms of inflammation of our body that can be only achieved through meditation. For highest level of meditation, Vairagya is essential. Ketu is supreme light that can only be experienced when 100% of our body is free from inflammation. The whole yogic process based and works to make your body less inflamed so that you can realize Ketu's supreme light. I want to chant my favorite, always, with the Rudrabhishekam, while we chant. Tvam Brahma, Tvam Vishnustvam, Rudrastvam, Indrastvam, Agnistvam, Vayustvam, Suryastvam, Chandramastvam, Brahma Bhorvaswarom. Shri Guru Pyom Namaha Harihi Om. और केतु जी आप कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं.
Very nice. Thank you for your nice word, Rahulji. You are always enlightened, and thank you for letting us know the meaning of Ketu. Yes, Ketu has thank you for the word. Yeah, let's come down to the topic. We don't want to इसको खत्म भी करना है because we don't want to make it too long. जी बुक रीडर जी.
अच्छा केतु जी, ये अभी आप बोले ना श्रवण मनन और निधि, क्या बोला?
Yes, Shravanam, Smaranam, and Arhani. Yes, that's what the devotees do. Shravan karte hain, Smaran karte hain, Arhani means devote karte hain. That's what we devotees need to be doing, and that's why Sri Krishna came in.
Acha, that the same concept I read in this Advaita Vedanta. So they says actually Shravan, Manan, and Nidhi Dhyanam. So actually meaning is same,
yes,
but the terminology is different, I think.
Yes. So next slok also says the same thing. What does the devotees need to do? Shrunvanti gayanti grunyanta abhikshana sa smaranti nandanti tave hitam anaha janaha taeva pasyantya chirena tavakam brahava pravaho paramam padmabhujam shrunvanti gayanti grunantya abhikshana smaranti nandanti tave hitam janaha तएव पश्यन्त चिरेण तावकं भव प्रवाहो परमं padma bhujam. So what it says, like padma bhujam, right? Bhava pravaho paramam means bhava pravaho means we are all in the cycle of death and born, right? Birth and death, in pleasure and pain, and unfortunately we are unable to escape it. The only way to escape it is through reaching the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, which is padma bhujam. That's what Bhagavatam is all about, to reach to that level. When we do Ashtang Yoga, Yam, Niyam, Pranayam, and then it comes to Asan, and then it comes to Pratihar. At that stage only this Padma Bhujam. Otherwise, you can do the, universal, you can chant the universal om, but universal, as you said, Surendra ji, universal om, that's what Advaita teaches, right? You cannot reach to that pratihar level by simply reciting om, universal om. You have to get the blessing of Lord Sri Krishna, Padma Bhujam, and that's what it talks about. तो क्या बोलते, श्रृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृणन्त्य अभिक्षण that it talks that hearing, chanting, and taking talking doing it continuously. Grunantya abhikshana, doing it बार बार करना पड़ा. Smaranti nandanti, smaranti means remember, and not only you need to do remember, आपको nandanti means you have to take pleasure in that. It's not that you simply remember and then because for the like a punishment. You need to continuously take pleasure in remembering in it. Nandan smaranta nandanta nandaninta tavahitam jana taeva pasyantya chirena tavatam. Then only you can this then only you can see very soon the lotus feet tavakam, the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, and escape this cycle of birth and rebirth. Oh Krishna, those who now what is the translation? It is saying, oh Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. So it is very clear. Now, what is this Brahma Bhuti we are talking about? So it talks about the description, because as we were talking Bhagavatam, it cannot be, हम लोग भागवतम की कथा बिना परीक्षित महाराज के और सुखदेव की इंट्रोडक्शन के बिना we cannot talk about this. So what is this Bhagavatam? So as we said that we spoke earlier, the birth of Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara, and how Lord Sri Krishna protected him from the Brahmastra released by Aswasthama. He released his Sudarshan Chakra because Parikshit was a very dear devotee of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, and he protected him. So now here what happened is, आप लोगों को पता होगा स्टोरी. परीक्षित महाराज वन में, जंगल जिसको बोलते, वन में घूम रहे थे, बहुत थक गए थे, जल भी नहीं थी, तो वो एक हर्मिटेज मतलब एक आश्रम देखे, सनक ऋषि का आश्रम देखे, और सनक ऋषि वहां पर तपस्या में लीन थे. तो उन्होंने उनसे जल मांगा. जल उन्होंने ध्यान नहीं दिया, क्योंकि वो ब्रह्मभूति में मग्न थे, वो तपस्या में लीन थे. तो यहाँ पर अभी हम बात करेंगे किस तरह की तपस्या थी, क्या अवस्था हो जाती है जब ब्रह्मभूति में लीन होता है ऋषि महाराज. जब आजकल सब लोग बोलते हैं कि मैं भी ब्रह्मभूति कर, लेकिन क्या वो स्थिति होती है, ये हम बात करेंगे सनक ऋषि. और उसके बाद क्या हुआ, लाइक जब उन्होंने उनकी बात जब उन्होंने उनकी इग्नोर कर दिया, तो उनके जब तो उन्होंने गुस्से में आके अहंकार में आके एक सर्प मरा हुआ सर्प उनके गले में डाल दिया। और जब फिर उनके इसके बाद उनके जब पुत्र आए, जब पुत्र ने देखा तो उनको बहुत गुस्सा आया और पुत्र ने श्राप दिया कि जैसे जिस तरीके से तुमने यहाँ पर अपने अहंकार में डाल दिए, तुम्हें 7 दिन में यही सर्प तुम्हें डस लेगा एंड यू विल नो वन बी अलाइव। एंड दैट्स व्हाई परीक्षित महाराज वेंट बैक टू हिज किंगडम, invited all the scholar including Sukhdev Maharaji, and then he also took the path of Bhagvatam. He realized that listening to this Bhagvatam will alone give me this Brahma Bhuti, and that's where it is saying. So what did it say? Let's see Brahma Bhuti की जो अवस्था होती है क्या होती है। प्रतिरुद्रे इंद्रिय प्राण मनो बुद्धिम बुद्धिम प्रतिरुद्रे इंद्रिय प्राण मनो बुद्धिर्मुपारतम। सो इट टॉक्स अबाउट प्रतिरुद्रे इंद्रिय मीन्स रुद्र जो इंद्रिय है, प्राण मनो बुद्धि से ऑल दीज आर इन स्टेल स्टेट। जो इन 5 इंद्रियां हैं, प्राण है, मन है, बुद्धि है, मनोर मुपारतम, these are all in inactive. Uparatam means what? Inactive state. In प्रतिरुद्रे इंद्रियम प्राण मनो बुद्धि मुपारतम. So all these are in inactive stage in this Brahma Bhuti stage. स्थानत्रया तपरम प्राप्तम ब्रह्मभूतम अविक्रियम. So this is the Brahma Bhuta avikriyam. स्थानत्रया तपरम प्राप्तम Brahma-bhuti avikriyam. So it is so in these all its senses are in inactive stage. The Muni's sense organ, breath, mind, intelligence were all restrained from material activities, and it was apart from the 3 stages जो हमारी मन की 3 स्टेज होती है, जागृत, जो जागृत अवस्था रहती है और स्वप्न अवस्था रहती है और अनकॉन्शियस अवस्था रहती है, इनसे अबव थी, ट्रांसेंडेंटल। ऐसा नहीं कि कोई ड्रीम में थी या जागृत थी, ना जागृत थी ना स्वप्न थी ना ये मूर्छा अवस्था थी, ये ब्रह्मभूत की अवस्था थी। So this is the stage, and I don't want to go through that story actually, which I just said. अब जो मैंने एक्सप्लेन, जी सुरेंद्र जी।
आज कहते पर इसमें कि आगे की स्टोरी हमको ऐसे पता, हम पढ़े थे कहीं पे जो है कि ये जब राजा परीक्षित को जब श्राप मिल जाता है कि सांप आपको डसेगा, तो ये आके यज्ञ करते हैं, तो जितने हमारे सांप रहते हैं उनका यज्ञ में ही उनका जो कि दहन करते हैं। फिर उसके बाद राजा परीक्षित एक माने वहां समझिए कुतुब मीनार की तरह अपना किला बनाते हैं, खाली नीचे से जाने का एक ही रास्ता रहता है। तो जो कि वो जो कि सांप जो रहता है वो फल के अंदर छिप के जो है कि फल के साथ ऊपर पहुंच जाता है, और जो कि फिर भी उनको डस लेता है, और उसके बाद से समझिए कलयुग चालू हो जाता है। जी 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 जी। तो परीक्षित महाराज जब उनको सांप डसा था, तो इस तरह की अवस्था पहले भी एक तरह का घटना हुआ था। खटांगवांग एक महाराज था जो जिन्होंने देवताओं की बहुत मदद की थी। उनकी वो सेनापति थी, बहुत बड़े महाराज थे पृथ्वीलोक में, तो उन्होंने देवताओं की मदद की और उनकी असुरों से लड़ाई करने के लिए, तो उनकी वीरता को देख के जब देवताओं ने बोला कि आप कोई ऐसी वरदान मांगो अपने लिए, तो उन्होंने बोला कि अच्छा मुझे बताओ कि मेरी कितनी जीवन के क्षण रह गए हैं। तो उन्होंने बोला 1 देवलोक। तो खटांग महाराज को बहुत दुख हुआ कि अब तो मैं नहीं रहूंगा, तो उन्होंने इमीडिएटली पृथ्वी लोक पर आ गए, जहां पर, और आप लोगों को पता है कि एक देवलोक जो होता है वो अनेकों साल पृथ्वी लोक होते हैं। तो इन्होंने आके सारा राज दरबार सब त्याग कर दिया, सन्यासी के जीवन के, और ईश्वर नाम में लगाया। तो यही बात इसी बात की दर्शाता है कि हमें जब भी समय मिलता है ईश्वर की, जो हम बार बार बोल रहे हैं कि उनका नाम स्मरण करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारा भी कब किस क्षण खत्म हो जाएगा, तो इसके जो मौका मिलता है ईश्वर नाम में थोड़ी बहुत हम समय लगा लेते हैं। तो ये जो श्लोक आई है यहाँ पर चैप्टर 2:113, खट्वांगो नाम राजा
खट्वांगो नाम राजर्षि ज्ञान्वे यतामिहायुपः मुर्हार्तन सर्व मुत्सृज्य गतवान भयम हरियम. The saintly king Maharaj Khatwang, after being informed that duration of his life would be a moment, at once got freed from all material activities and took shelter of the supreme deity, the personality of Godhead. So this is where we this is where even the Bhagavad um, uh, yeah. So it says like in slok chapter 2 115 it says अंतकाले तु पुरुष आगते गत साध्वसम छिन्द्यादश छिन्द्यादश शस्त्रेण सखेण spruham deha no yet chama. At the last stage of one life, one should be bold enough not to become afraid of death, but he must cut off his attachment to the material body and everything pertaining to it. So this is what even Bhagavad Gita also says, Antakale cha mamave smarana mukta kalevaram ya prayati sa madbhavam yati nastayatra sansaya. So those who relinquish the body while remembering me at the moment of death will come to me. There is certainly no doubt about it. So I will go and so it takes we need to continuously make effort to go to this higher state. Brahma bhuti ki realization ke liye hame continuously prayas karna chahiye, and that is what it says that gruhata pravajito dhiraha punya tirtha jalapul लुतः शुचौ विभक्त आसीनो विधिवत्कल्पितामने. One should leave home and practice self-control. In the sacred place he should bathe regularly and sit down in a lonely place sanctified. So we'll continue in the next session. यहाँ तक रखते हैं, and then let me play this Hare Krishna mantra again. And
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Jai Shri Krishna. So we'll end that space. Thank you. We'll continue in the next sequence. This was Bhagavatam part 1. Jai Shri Krishna consciousness part 1. We'll do in the next session. Thank you.